Okay, so after 2.5 hours of going back and forth with ChatGPT, I have developed a dialing computer program. So the computer basically just has to make sure it's turned on. If its screens look like this, you just have to type dial, and it brings up the program. Now, if something's wrong or it's not working right or something weird happening, just turn the computer off, turn it back on, and once again type in dial to start the program. And then you have a button to toggle the iris if you have one. You can abort a dialing sequence in progress. For example, I'll click the nether here. The dialing sequence begins, but then I can abort. The gate will shut down and reset. And if you have an outbound wormhole that you want to close, you can do that. But you can't close an incoming connection. For example, so the way the Stargates are designed to work is they detect a player within so many blocks of an open gate that is outgoing, such as this one right now. And if I were to step through this wormhole and go through to the other side and there's no players around the gate, it will automatically close within, I've configured it to 15 seconds. But if there's still somebody on the other side, because they're staying here and not leaving, the gate will not close on its own. You have to command it to close, either with the computer program or pressing the big center button on the DHD. Another practical example where this might occur is if you want to send items through the Stargate, you can. Oops, there we go. And they will travel, but it will not shut down the gate because there's still a player. So we can close gate. Gate shuts down. Secure dial augers. The Pegasus gates are a lot faster at dialing, even when using a dialing computer. It's pretty much about as fast as you can dial with a DHD. Milky Way gates, on the other hand, are very, very slow. It should close momentarily, now that I've traveled through it. Yep. So, here's the dialing computer running on Augur's computer. And then, if we want to go back to Grey Wolf, just click that. And it will begin dialing, but this is much slower. The bulk of the time that I spent trying to get this thing to work was actually trying to figure out a way to get the gate to dial faster through the computer to emulate pressing the buttons on the DHD. But it's just not designed to work that way, and any attempts I made to trick it into working that way didn't work. If you want the gate to dial faster, you're going to have to learn how to use the DHD. And I can provide the addresses, so if you want to learn the symbols and the orders, you can. Otherwise, you can rely on the computer push-button dialing, but it will take some time. Or I can exchange the Stargates out for Pegasus gates instead of Milky Way gates, if you prefer. I personally like the slow dialing of the Milky Way gate. It's very cinematic and dramatic, but that's just me, because I'm a big Stargate fan. Dang, so. I mean, obviously, with waystones, there's much faster and more efficient ways to travel. But again, for the fun factor and the cinema, there's Stargates. Yeah, it looks like once the chunks are unloaded, the computer resets to default, so you have to press dial to start the program again. Which, whatever, it's a minor thing. I also included the address, the nether, and the end. There is no computer in the nether, though, so you will need another way to return, or to know your own address. The end, also, the Destiny-style or Universe-style Stargates do not come with DHDs. The only way to dial them is with a portable hand device. But I have not gotten the ability to craft those quite yet, although I'm pretty close. So we'll see how that goes. So there's no way to return from the end via Stargate. You'd have to use the Waystone or something else for now. Anyway, that's my quick bit about the gates. What I've set up. Hope y'all like it.